Okay, so first we're gonna start by placing your center hoop right in the middle, and you're gonna take about, I don't know, 6 inches or so, and you're gonna make your first loop. And this is a simple knot, just right over left, and then you're gonna tie it and knot it. And that's, just wanna make sure that that's not going anywhere. You want it to be pretty sturdy. When you're wrapping your yarn, you wanna make sure you keep most of your yarn in your right hand. And after you do your first loop, you're gonna hold it with one hand, and then you're gonna loop your ball around so that you can tie another knot. So that this is gonna be the loop for your dream catcher to hang on the wall, okay? So you just wanna tie that as best you can, make another loop, and then you can take this little end piece and you're gonna tie a little knot in place. So that's really just for the loop knot to not go anywhere. So you have a little place there, okay? Okay? Now, you're gonna hold this with one hand, and in the other right hand, you're gonna start looping around. The idea is that we're gonna wrap the whole outer wooden hoop with yarn. And you don't need it to be so tight because your yarn will run out. So as you start going, you just wanna like make sure you're spreading it along. Okay, like so. All right. Now, you're all the way back. You're kind of making sure that you have no holes, you know, kind of super even. And then you're gonna come around and you're gonna tie another knot here. Now you can get your original loop and kind of tie a knot around with that. Now you only need a little bit, so we tied up our top. Now we're gonna make an A shape, come back down, around, over, down, and back. And now I'm just gonna tie that off. And knot it, okay? All right, now you have your star shape hoop with all of your yarn on the outside. And now you have these yarns that were sent to you that were in long strands. So this next part, you have to think about how you want your tassels to be done on the bottom. So let's think about your color placement. I'm gonna push this up a little bit. I want my tassels to be down low. So I think I'm gonna do my colors like this. I tend to like my thicker colors in the middle, but I'm gonna use that leftover string from the outside on the inside of my dream catcher, because when we start to put the feathers on, it's actually easier to do it on a thinner yarn, just so you know. And then I'm gonna put some yarns out here. Now everybody doesn't have the same colors as me, so if you don't worry, you know, everybody's gonna do it differently, okay? So that's the layout of my tassel, like of my tassel yarns. So now I'm just gonna set those aside because I know what the layout looks like. And now I'm gonna show you how to put the loop in, okay? So now the loop, you're gonna fold your yarn in half. You're gonna set the yarn down, pick up your hoop, thread the other two loop the yarns through, and pull down, okay? And then you just continue that for the rest of them. Loop around, You have your yarn around the outside. You have your A shape for your dream catcher. Now you have your yarn tassels or fringe down the back. Now you're going to pull it up and you're going to think about how long you want it. Okay, so for me, you know, it can be all different lengths, but for me, I kind of like it to be longer and shorter, and I like to make a V. So I'm gonna make mine kind of come up, and these tassels, just gonna give it a little bit of a haircut, okay? And they don't have to be even, they can be uneven, they can be, you know, up and down, shorter and longer. It's really up to you. I just like mine to be in a V shape because it's more stimulating to my eye, and that's the way I like it. But you guys can really do it however you choose. So there we go. Now, this is the shape of my dream catcher. Okay? All right, the next step is to add your feathers and your beads. So you guys have some really thick yarns, and then you have some thinner yarns. So the key to putting the beads on is you're gonna twist the bottom of your thinner yarns. Those thick yarns are gonna be nearly impossible to put on your bead. So you twist it really tight, and then you start to feed it through your bead. Now, if your yarns are way too thick, that's okay. You're just gonna get your feather and you're gonna help it through. So you kind of put it through the top part. Can you see that? You put it through, you twist it, and then you put it through, and then you're gonna use your feather to stick it, like to feed it all the way through until your fingers can get it, and then you pull it through. And then you've got your bead. So you've got your bead on, and then with your feather, you're just gonna shimmy that inside, and just shimmying that inside, you're gonna do it until it doesn't go anymore. And that's how you get your feather to stay put, okay? And then you're gonna do it, excuse me, with your other left side, right side, sorry. There we go. See, this one's not going in as easy, so I'm gonna get my feather and I'm just gonna push it through until I can grab it on the other side. There we go. Let's see, let's do this one really quickly. I'm gonna twist it. Pull it through. All right, and you do have a few extra beads, but that's just there for you guys just in case you lose them. You can always add them without feathers on there. So we're gonna push this one through, and then I'm gonna push this one through, okay? And then you have your feathers with the beads, okay? The next step is adding your flowers and your butterflies. Okay, so first we're gonna lay out the flowers. We're just gonna wanna see how we want our flowers on there, okay? So we have a grouping of flowers. You can put them just on the top of your dream catcher. You can put it down the side of your dream catcher and have it, you know, asymmetrically balanced. It's really up to you how you want to do it. And then you have to think about where you want your butterflies. You know, do you want it in the flower? Do you want it on the flower? Okay, so there's so many different options that you can choose. So once you have your idea of how you want them done, then you get your glue gun. Remember to be very careful with the glue gun. And you know how you want them, so now you're gonna start gluing. And you start putting the glue. Do not ever touch hot glue. Also, do not let the children, if parents are working with kids at home, make sure you're controlling the glue gun, because this will burn them if you're not careful. So I do not recommend children using the glue gun, only the parents. There you go. hold that in place. Remember not to touch the hot glue. I know sometimes we're like, oh, it's dripping. Nope, don't do it. It will burn you. So we're just being specific about where we want the glue to be placed. There we go. I'm gonna put one more in here to cover up some of that other glue I can see, so I don't like that. There you go. Okay, and then my butterflies will go like so. I'm gonna put this butterfly down here. And just enough to get that butterfly to stay. And then these little glue specks can easily come off and go in the trash. All right? We leave it a little bit to dry, and then I'll show you the after. Okay? There it is.